Hi, my name is Micah Donnelly, and today I will be doing my thesis on the complete opposite of what everyone else has been doing, and that's that businesses should be held responsible. In this case, I will be doing they should not be held responsible. Now, disclaimer, I completely agree with Clay, Natalie, and Grace. They really should. I mean, after all the things that you've seen from their presentations, you should really think, yeah, businesses, they don't really take care of the environment as much as they say they should. So they make all these environmental friendly cars or environmental friendly businesses, and then next thing you know, it's hurting our environment. And they say they don't have anything they can do about it, but actually there can be things that they can do about it. So for my example that I used, this was in the book for our environmental chapter 7. And it's basically this Ford truck. It's called the Fordosaurus, but they actually decided to change the name, which was a very good idea on their part, because it doesn't sound very well. But they named it actually the Excursion. So this vehicle was obviously built by Ford, and it was thought to be very environmentally friendly. It was supposed to get 10 to 15 miles per gallon. It was a big deal back in the 1990s. There was a huge amount of competition between this vehicle and other SUVs. However, this one won because of the 10 to 15 mile per gallon that it had, plus it was an 8-seater. Now, we all know with vehicles that this car, if you have very large amounts of seats in the vehicle, I have a GMC and it sucks on gas. Now, this car, when things become famous or they become known in the society, you start to notice, okay, the production of the vehicle is gonna go up. You're gonna see a lot more being sold. But then, just like everything does, it starts to go down. And the sales begin to start going down. You start noticing that things are left on the market and not being sold, and that's not very environmental friendly. Now, this car was mostly obviously known for environmental friendly. However, over time they noticed that after 120,000 miles that this car would take up, 130 tons of carbon dioxide was put into the atmosphere. And apparently Ford overlooked that, and they didn't notice that and realized, oh wow, this car is not really environmental friendly. And thus the production started to go down and the sales also started to go down. But going into businesses, the responsibility that businesses take on to help our needs with what we want, they are held to a very high standards. So take the new iPhone, for example. You want the new iPhone, they're gonna make it. If there's other competitions, you have Apple, and then you have Android. These businesses are constantly trying to help humans and help us become happier. So that's where the competition comes in, and then it also ties into money. How does this product help the businesses and help them become more efficient or more, costly? And that's just the nature of the beast for today's society. You can't really change it. Society changes throughout our lives, but these businesses try to keep up with us, and they try to maximize our future and make us happier. But honestly, it's just hurting our environment, and they don't know it. It mostly should really be the people that are buying the product be responsible. That's what I truly feel. Businesses are just doing what they possibly can. All of the Cuyahoga River, for example, they have stuff that's being made there, and the product of it is going into the water, but we can't really fix that because that business is, it's just a big old thing that we can't really fix. So I really tied in this, I guess businesses shouldn't be held reliable, but I put it with the tragedy of the commons, and basically the tragedy of the commons can really be explained as damage to the environment, pursuit of only self-interest, but like I was just saying, I feel like the finger should really be pointed at everyone. For like, is it really the business's fault that all of these things are happening? Is it really the business's fault that we are buying the product but then using and abusing it? Is it really the business's fault that us humans are the ones possibly making the environment worse? We need paper, we're gonna cut down trees. We need, I don't know, the new iPhone, like I just said. Like, people are gonna want it, so businesses are gonna make it. What happens after that product is being sold really ties into the people, if that makes any sense to everybody. But you, like, another example, the duck and the sea life that Clay was talking about, and Natalie, what happens after you buy it, it amazes me to see how actual cruel people can be to the environment. You may not mean to do it, but it happens. And there is something you can do about it. For example, the duck, cut the little strings, throw it in the actual recycle bin. You know, that little piece of effort that you do could actually help our environment amazingly. The fishing, the poor turtles, you know, the whole save the turtles straw thing, you know, that's a real deal. You know, you want to save the environment and you want to help them, but it's not the business's fault. You have to take the responsibility that in the end, it's truly the consumers. Another example, perfect example actually, would be cigarettes. You buy the cigarettes, you use it, and I see constantly when I'm driving, people flicking the cigarettes out the window. Or they just flick it on the ground, rub it, and leave. That's not very environmental friendly, now is it? Nobody really says anything about it because nobody wants to deal with that heartache, that like tension between that person. You really just want to, okay, whatever, you know, they did that, you know, well, that's one cigarette, you know, but then 15 other people do it. How are you supposed to, you know, how are you supposed to react in that situation? It's just one of those things that really kind of makes me just wonder, is it really, truly the business's fault for all of this happening to the environment? Should the finger really be pointed at the consumers buying the products?